It's a goal. Can you believe it? It's extraordinary.
To the Crows and the Saints. The Crows, plenty of talk about how badly they were going. 22-point winners, Jimmy. The Saints never completely out of it, just couldn't reel them in.
No, spot on, Hamer. They never led it in this game, the Saints, but as you said, they were never out of it. They were super competitive. We've seen this from the Saints all year. They're tough. They have a crack. Gresham and Billings continued their fine form this year, and as well as Membry, played a little bit higher. Great work rate as well for him, who put together a good game. And look, there's been a lot of questions over the Crows, but they still sit in 8th spot, and you've got to beat them out of it. And you've got to give credit to guys when they play well. You can hammer them when they play bad, but Tex Walker was fantastic last night, 4 goals. Eddie Betts back in the side, kicking 3 goals. And Bryce Gibbs, along with Richard Douglas, were fantastic in coming back into the side as well. Adelaide played a short, kick mark, chipping game style in the first half, having 81 marks and 70 short kicks. So they were trying to over-possess the ball and deny the footy from the Saints there. But it was probably just a bit too much senior class in the end that got the Crows over the line in probably a much-needed win for those finals aspirations. The 3 things I learnt: pizza night, Pike. He had the pizzas during the week and the boys played well, so Domino's, Pizza Hut, get around to Don's place for a pizza. And number 2, don't mess with the Rohan. Rowan Marshall was absolutely fantastic in the ruck against Riley O'Brien, who's probably been one of the form players of the competition. He won that battle. And I think the fog is drifting in for the Crows. Darcy Fogarty, he came in for Jenkins, and I think he just offers a point of difference for them. If they're going to go play in September, he's physical, he's not a huge possession getter, but he offers a presence or a bailout target or kick, and he probably kicked what was the sealer coming in like 5 minutes to go in the game, which we'll see this goal from 60 metres out. He's brash, he's exciting. The Crows fans love him.
He's a teenager, so he's in his second year. He's starting to find his feet. He's going to be around for a long time. You don't give a Crow number 32 unless you think there's a big future.
No, he's a massive lump of a kid, and I imagine at primary school he would have been frightening in the schoolyard because he looks like a schoolyard bully. He's that big, but when he fills out, and I guess he develops his craft, because you can't just get away with being big because you're playing against men who have played for 10 years. He gets a bit of craft and how he works off Tex Walker. He'll be a real threat for them.
Mick, what does it mean for Josh Jenkins, do you think?
Yeah, it's a challenging one, and we do get caught up sometimes in week-to-week stuff. Josh Jenkins is out now, and a lot of people say, oh, he's done, because Fogarty's come in and done well. But, a week's a long time. Josh Jenkins will serve his penance, play really well at Samford level, and put the acid on the match committee. So I don't think it's the last we've seen at Josh Jenkins, but in terms of, for this year, but in terms of going forward, I think a lot of discussion around his future, maybe it might be elsewhere.
Yeah.
Jimmy, a big week for the Crows. Obviously, you mentioned that. Now, a lot of pressure on a number of their senior guys. You listed them, but Matt Crouch was one of them as well who stood up. Yeah,
I think the Crouch boys, they're copping a heat because, like all the Crows senior players, but their form's been fantastic this year, and people have been tough on them, and it's more where they're getting the ball or where they're taking the footy. And I felt Brad and Matt last night, they were trying to get forward, they were trying to get inside 50s, and when they hit the scoreboard, they become really dangerous. When sides almost say, oh, you can have your 30 plus, but you can have them going back and forth across half back, that's when they can fall into a bit of a trap. But their form's been good, but last night it was excellent.
You mentioned in your wrap about the experienced players coming back in, Douglas, Betts and Gibbs. What did you see in particular from Bryce Gibbs visibly that suggested he can play a role going forward for the rest of the season?
Well, what he does is what probably a lot of people are asking for from the Crows is he adds that midfield depth. They can actually have greater rotations through the midfield. So when Adelaide have been beaten, they've relied on the 2 Crouches and obviously Rory Sloane, but then it's not much else comes through and sides eventually overrun them. He adds that depth. He had 6 clearances. He had a lot of contested possessions. So he's a class player inside the contest. So that's where his importance will come for, I guess, if he stays in the side for the next few weeks.
What was that guy that played the role? Was it Dougie in the Pizza Hut?
Yeah, Dougie the pizza guy from Pizza Hut. Yeah.
Let's hear from Dougie Pike.
I was just proud of the playing group. I mean, it's been, it was a hard-fought win, and obviously a difficult week in terms of some of the focus on the club and the playing group and so forth. But, again, the sort of togetherness of the group and their ability to commit to playing the way we wanted to play and getting it done. Wasn't probably our greatest performance, but it was it was a tough fought win, and we came here to get 4 points and we got them.
No pizza advertising behind there for the pizza guy, but on the other side of the coin with Brett Ratton as Saints coach, what did you see from the Saints last night? Third week for Brett as caretaker. Your summation of how he's going?
I think he's going well. He's getting energy and excitement, and we've seen that out of all the caretaker coaches. Sean can touch on that with Reece. He's sort of taken a bit of the structure away, stripped it right back, and it's just encouraging them to play. They're trying to play a lot quicker, especially from the back half forward, so they don't get bogged down across the half back line. But again, you're seeing improvement out of players, and that's the important thing. You don't want to see players regress under a caretaker coach. I mentioned Billings and Gresham, but you had young Jake Long. He looks exciting across the forward line. Loney back in the side. So I think it's been a positive under Brett Ratton.
Luke Dunstan, the advantage rule, gets often the team without the ball on the hop. This got the team with the ball on the hop. So Luke Dunstan thinks about playing on, goes, no, I'm going to throw it back. Go throw it back to you. Throw. He's taken the advantage, has he not?
Yeah.
I think then throw the ball back saying, no, I've run out of space here on the wing.
I think he's got to have enough football knowledge to think, if he is going to call me up, at least handball it back so they're in flow. That's right. It's a bit of a brain fade from a guy that's actually played a milestone last night, I reckon 100 games.
Yep.
So
right decision
that's on
from
Luke.
the umpire, isn't it?
Yeah, that's on Luke.